Nothing great has ever been achieved without determination. Nothing great has ever been achieved without determination. If you are determined enough, anything becomes achievable and attainable. It is determination that makes you persist through many failures until you succeed. The route to success. There are so many failures on your path on the route to success. It is determination that makes you persist through many failures until you succeed. Until you succeed. Determination is what motivates us to improve on ourselves. Any man who is not determined will be laid back. Any man who is not determined will go into extinction. When you see people pay the price for self-improvement, it is because they are determined to succeed. Determined to succeed. When you improve yourself, you increase your chances of success. Your chances for success are increased when you improve on yourself. And what makes a man improve on his or herself is determination. A determined person will do more with a pen than a lazy person will accomplish with a personal computer. So the problem is not resources. The problem is that you are not determined. Someone who is determined will accomplish so much with a pen and paper than a lazy person will accomplish with a personal computer. When you are determined, the lack of resources will not be an excuse for not being successful. The reason people make excuses in life for failure, for setback, is because they are not determined. They are not. They are not. Let us see scriptural definition for determination. Scriptural definition for determination. Hebrews 12 and verse 2. Hebrews 12 and verse 2. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Determination. Because of the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. The reason people don't endure pain is because they are not determined to succeed. The reason people bow out easily, give up easily, is because they are not determined. When you are determined, the cross becomes a motivation. When you are determined, the pain becomes a motivation. When you are determined, the challenges of life becomes a motivation. Bible told us that Jesus endured the pain. He endured the cross because of the joy that was set before him. So he has resolved within himself that no come rain, come shine, he is determined to get there. So not even the pain, not even the shame, not even the cross will stop him from getting there. The reason we bow out very easily is because of things that don't count. Shame, pain. When a man is determined, every failure becomes a motivation. Jesus didn't allow challenges deter him from where he was headed to. It is determination that makes men not to succumb to discouragement. Determination makes men not to succumb to attacks. It is determination that makes men withstand oppositions. Oppositions. Discouragement will come. Oppositions will come. Attacks will come. But what keeps you going is your determination. A man who is determined does not allow his going through to stop his going to. A man who is determined. We will certainly go through things in life, but on the wings of determination, it does not stop us from going to our destination. Men who give up very easily, we are never determined. I got to where I got to today in ministry, not because I am too anointed, it's because of determination. How can you explain to me that you prayed, you did 30 days on midnight, only for you to wake up, finish the 30 days midnight, come to church on Sunday? You were expecting to see result. On that Sunday you showed up. That became your worst Sunday ever. Maybe you have been having 30 members. After 30 days praying and fasting, you showed up, you saw 10 people. If I tell you what I've been through in this town, you will pray. When I mean midnight prayer, I will summon my pastors. I will summon every leader. If you are not there, you have problems with me. We do vigil Saturday night against Sunday, only for us to come to church on Sunday and nobody is there. It's as though the prayer pursued them. And you're asking yourself, did God call you? One day my pastor summoned me. They said, Bishop, if you want to make it in this Owerri, you want to see people, just start prophesying. You have the gift of prophecy. Begin to prophesy and they will gather. Stop this your word thing. And they will not, people don't want to hear word, they want to hear prophecy. And the Lord said to me, leave that thing. If you want to raise a church, give them the word. That is what keeps them. Prophecy will not keep them. Let them value my word over what you have to say. And I told them it is not going to work. Some of them walked out on me. Some pastors left me. Pastors I ordained. Some of them I wedded them. The food, everything that was shared in their wedding, I single-handedly sponsored it. When they discovered I was not into prophecy, they left me. They said, I'm not serious. But today, the tide has changed. You can't mention men of God in this city and don't mention my name. It is not possible. It is not possible. You can't ask any pastor in this city, do you know Bishop Moses? He said, I don't know. He's a lie. That pastor is lying. This name has become a household name. God is beginning to make a name for himself. Why? I was determined against all odds. We came here, we'll be in church. Dustbin will cover the order would be something else. This dustbin you see, it was in front there. We are having service. I was determined. People say, leave here, leave here. So I will not leave. The dustbin will leave for me. One day, some policemen came to greet me and they said, Oga, you get grace. So How you able to pursue this thing out of here is one thing we will not forget in a hurry. Determination. Determination. Not because I'm too anointed. Determination. You can be intelligent. You can be gifted without becoming successful. You can be intelligent and gifted without reaching the top. The top is only meant for those who are determined. Even without gift, if you are determined enough, the top becomes your abode. The top becomes your abode. Listen to this. People and things can stop you temporarily or slow you down, but only you can stop yourself permanently. People and things can slow you down, can stop you temporarily, but only you can stop yourself permanently. It is determination that gives birth to action, and it takes action to command result. To command result. Genesis 32:26. Genesis 32:26. And he said, let me go. This was God speaking to Jacob. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. I am here. I am determined that you go nowhere. This one I haven't got nowhere. God was begging Jacob literally, let me go, for it is morning. Jacob said to him, sir, you are wasting your time. The only way you can go is to bless me. I will not let you go unless you bless me. He was determined to be blessed and didn't take no for an answer. He didn't take no for an answer. He wrestled until he was changed, until he was blessed. On the wings of determination, God changed Jacob from a person to a nation. Thou shalt no longer be called Jacob. Thou shalt be called Israel. What was it? There was a shift. God was no longer seeing him as a person. God said, from today I will begin to deal with you as a nation. On the wing, the reason you are still too small is because you are not determined enough. The reason you are still where you are is because you are not determined enough. The reason nothing is working is because you are not determined enough. Any little injury, you back out. Any little frustration, you back out. Any little pain, you start no longer interested. You are not ready for the top. Any man who you see at the top has so many scars. It takes scars to make stars. So many scars, but they were determined that not even the scars will stop them from reaching the top. Keep pushing. It may not make sense now. Be determined. Keep pushing. It may not, what you are looking for, you may not see it now. Keep pushing. Be determined that nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. It's a matter of time. We'll get there. We rise in this kingdom on the wings of determination. You can be small today, but when you are determined enough, you can become great tomorrow. Nobody was born great. Nobody was born great. There are people who came from a family of greatness. Today they are wretched. Greatness is a function of determination. I refuse to settle here. I refuse to fall. I refuse to give up. I refuse to let this pain keep me here. I keep pushing. I keep pushing. Let me just share with you, my time is gone. But in just 2 minutes, media, if you can give me 2 minutes, let me work with it. Let me just share with you I saw a journal. I was going through the biography of some great men, and I saw what they wrote down, and it touched me. And I feel I should share them with you. This is Dr. Ben Carson. I'm sure you know him. In 1987, he said, I struggled academically throughout elementary school, yet became the best neurosurgeon in the world. Struggled academically. The reason you don't know geography is not that your head is blocked, it's because you are not determined to know it. Maths is more simpler than English. The reason you didn't know maths is because you are not determined to know maths. So when you begin to hear algebra, you just walk away. Just walk away. He struggled with school but became the best neurosurgeon. Oprah Winfrey said, I was raped at the age of 9, yet I am one of the most influential women in the world. Raped at the age of what? 9. Yet today the most influential women in the world at the age of 9. Rape. Somebody just left you and your heart got broken, and you just ended life by yourself. You say, what is life all about? Because one man left you. Just imagine that. What is life? What am I doing here now? If after 4 years he left me, somebody was raped, yet became the most influential woman. Bill Gates. I didn't even complete my university education, but became the world's richest man. Bill Gates. I didn't even complete my university education, but became the world's richest man. Your problem is not Nigeria. Your problem is that you are not determined. That's your problem. Your problem is that you didn't go to school. You don't have to speak. Your problem is that you are not determined. Joyce Meyer. I was sexually, mentally, emotionally, and verbally abused by my father as far as I can remember, until I left home at the age of 18. Yet, I am one of the most influential preachers in the world. Joyce Meyer, read her story. The father raped her. The father raped her. Raped her. But look at Joyce Meyer now. She's having a program. The world gathers. The world gathers to listen to her. I'm sharing these things with you for you to know that there is no reason to give up. People walked out on you should be a motivation. There is no reason to give up. Don't say, don't say that. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can still make a difference. You can still make a difference. Only few persons are at the top, and they got there on the wings of determination. Lionel Messi. I used to serve tea at a shop to support my football training, and still became one of the world's best footballers. Serving tea to support himself. Some of you start making noise. I'm the one supporting myself. That the guy water. Nobody's training me. My father, I'm taking care of my son, taking care of my parent. It should be a motivation. It should be a motivation. There is no reason, what at all, to give up. Be determined. Be determined. Steve Jobs. I'm sure you know him. I used to sleep on the floor in my friend's room, returning Coke bottles for food, money, and getting weekly free meals at a local temple. That is, they would take bottles, return them in exchange for food. I later founded Apple Company. Steve Jobs. His phone now is is the biggest phone you can ever think of. His laptop, the biggest. Behind every incredible glory is an expensive story. Behind every incredible glory is an expensive story. Your story may not be good now. That does not mean your glory will be bad. Life has two sides. There is a storytelling side and there is a glory speaking side. But you must not allow your story to decide your glory. Don't allow it. Don't allow your story to decide your glory. Rather, let your story become a motivation for your glory. For your glory. Tony Blair. How many of you know Tony Blair? Former Prime Minister of UK, of Britain. He said, my teacher used to call me a failure, but I finally became a Prime Minister. Tony Blair. My teacher used to call me a failure. Failure is a title. It's not a destination. Failure is a title, not a destination. I can decide to remove Bishop from my name tomorrow. Bishop is a title. And I can decide to put Archbishop. I can decide to put Pope. I can decide to put Apostle. They are all titles. They don't define who I am. Don't allow what people call you define who you are. Don't allow what they say to you define who you are. The teacher looked at him and called him a failure, but he later became the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Nelson Mandela, I was in prison for 27 years. He had become the President of South Africa. You know his story. 27 years in prison, I did not give up. Why are you giving up? Why are you giving up? Stand to your feet. I will continue next week. Why are you giving up? None of you here have any reason to give up. You have heard the stories of great men. Some of you, your story is better than their story. Don't allow them be better than you, even with an ugly story. Be determined that you must succeed. Be determined that you must break record. Be determined that you must make it. Be determined that you must get there. Be determined that you must get to the top. Buhari failed election several times. Have you seen Buhari's WAEC result before? Go on, it's on the internet. Google it, Buhari's WAEC result. Only Islamic studies, he had A1. Others were F9. Yet he became the president of Nigeria. With all your Queen's English. Where are you? All your Queen's English. The problem is not the talent. The problem is lack of determination. Some of you would have done things that will begin to change your life. Some of you here, so gifted, but zero productivity. Can I say this? Don't allow your gift to be your undoing. You didn't hear me. Don't allow your gifting to be your undoing. Some people, their giftings were their undoing. Don't allow your gifting to be your undoing. Never you brag because you have gift. Never you brag because you have people. I was on this scripture. I was preparing for our young ministers hangout for this month. And I read Genesis. Let me share with you. I read Genesis. The thing turned my brain. I see on Facebook a pastor will say a young pastor will say young pastors, listen, young ministers, advising young ministers. You are young, you are advising young people. Something that should be for fathers So the level of pride I see among young pastors, they feel they can't fail. One was prided in this town till he impregnated a lady. Now he's gone into extinction. I was in Genesis. God would leave heaven, come down, relate with Adam and Eve, yet they failed. Yet the devil succeeded. People who are seeing God, you know they see God, you are bragging. People who saw God, they relate with God. God will come, they will sit down and begin to discuss. How is heaven? He said, God wasn't high. He said, fine. So what is happening there? Have you guys eaten? You go. I prepare something for you. Can you join me and eat? Yet the enemy got at them. And you think your 100 days praying and fasting and prayer will learn to depend on the grace of God. You don't have what it takes to stand on your own. Bible says, he that think he stands, let him watch lest he falls. Men saw God. The only people that saw God, they still failed. You've not even had encounter with God, you are bragging. You will come on Facebook and begin to say, young ministers, listen, I will finish them in the next young ministers hangout. I'm waiting for them. They have to have sense. You need to go back and begin to depend on God's grace. That was the secret of Paul. Secret of Paul. He depended on God's grace and he was able to do wonders. Ladies and gentlemen, God has spoken to you this morning. You have no reason to fail. If you fail, your parents are not responsible. If you fail, you are responsible for your failure. Start now. Start now. After this service, start now and begin to take a move. Take that move. What is it that you need to do to advance? Start now. Stop waiting on God. God is waiting for you. Start now. There are things you need to do that will turn your life around. Stop wasting time. Time waits for nobody. Lift up your voice, talk to God, say, Lord, help me. Help me, Lord. Quickly. Help me, Lord, quickly.
I depend on you. I depend